It had been years since the watchman last struck. People hoped he was gone for good. The streets were calmer. The papers stopped mentioning his name. Children walked to school again without their parents clutching their hands so tight. But they were wrong. One cold night, the city woke up to fear again. Another body had been found. A woman in her 40s found in her apartment, doors locked from the inside. And on the wall, written in red paint, or maybe blood, were the same chilling words. 10 years and still too slow. Detectives filled the room, speechless. The air was heavy with disbelief. The watchman was back, and this time, it felt different. More deliberate, almost like he wanted to remind them he had never really left. Detective Elias Hale stood at the center of that room. He didn't speak. He just stared at the words on the wall until the red letters blurred in his vision. 10 years. 10 years of chasing a ghost. 10 years of feeling watched. His partner, Detective Carla Ruiz, broke the silence. "He's playing with time," she whispered. Hale glanced at her. She was right, but the thought unsettled him. Later that night, the precinct was quiet. Rain drummed against the windows as Hale sat alone in his office. He stared at the evidence board that had haunted him for years. Faces, maps, timelines, all connected by red string. The ticking of the clock on the wall seemed louder than ever. Every second mocked him. He rubbed his eyes. The case had aged him. He barely recognized the man in the reflection of the window. His wife had left years ago. His friends had stopped calling. The watchman had taken more than lives. He had taken time itself. As Hale leaned back in his chair, his phone buzzed on the desk. Unknown number, one message. He hesitated before opening it. "You've been watching time for 10 years, detective. But what happens when time starts watching you?" His heart froze. The phone slipped from his hand and hit the floor. He looked around the room. Something felt wrong. The ticking had stopped. He turned toward the wall clock. The hands were frozen at exactly 3:14. He looked at another clock on his shelf. 3:14. Then another. 3:14. Every clock in the room had stopped. Hale stood up slowly, breathing hard. His eyes darted across the room. The air felt heavy, thick with static. Then he noticed a faint reflection in the window, a tiny red dot blinking outside, faint through the rain. He stepped closer, squinting. The red light blinked again. A camera, hidden somewhere across the street, pointed straight at him. He felt a chill crawl down his spine. He yanked the blinds shut, but it didn't help. The feeling of being watched was too strong. He picked up the phone again, staring at the message. Then suddenly, the screen went black. His phone died, battery still at 60%. The lights flickered once, twice, then went out completely. Darkness. Hale stood motionless, waiting for his eyes to adjust. He could still hear the rain outside, steady and soft. Then came a sound from the hallway, a faint click, the sound of a door latch turning. He grabbed his flashlight and swept the beam across the floor. Papers rustled under his feet. The sound came again, closer this time. "Carla?" he called. No answer. He moved slowly toward the hall. The beam of his flashlight trembled in his hand. Every step felt heavier. The silence was unbearable. At the end of the hallway, something gleamed on the floor, a small object. He crouched to pick it up. It was a watch, old, silver, still ticking. The time read 3:14. He dropped it instantly, backing away. His breathing quickened. He turned toward the door, ready to run outside, but stopped. The front door was already open. Rain blew in from the street, soaking the carpet. There was no sound, no movement, just the open door and the cold wind whispering through it. Hale stepped closer, every nerve on fire. He looked outside. The street was empty, but there, across the road, behind the wet glass of a streetlight post, something moved. A shadow. It was tall, still, watching him. Hale froze. His mind screamed at him to shut the door, to hide, to call for backup, but his body refused to move. The shadow didn't flinch. It simply raised its arm and pointed directly at him. Then, as lightning flashed across the sky, the figure was gone. Hale slammed the door and locked it. His hands were shaking. He turned to grab his phone, but it was gone from the desk. Only the faint glow of one clock remained. 3:14. Then came the whisper. Soft calm. from somewhere behind him. Too slow. Hale spun around, but there was no one there. Only the empty hallway. Only the rain. He backed up against the wall, staring into the dark. For the first time, he realized the truth. The watchman wasn't hunting victims anymore. He was hunting him. And outside, across the city, unseen eyes blinked red in the rain, waiting for the next move.